One of the leaders in all the polls for the upcoming 2019 presidential elections is Yulia Tymoshenko. Recognize her? And now, Tymoshenko was a post-Soviet businesswoman from the 1990s who has been active in Ukrainian politics for more than 20 years. She's been elected to parliament 6 times and was prime minister twice. For years, Tymoshenko has based her political strategy on populistic promises such as cutting utility tariffs and raising salaries.
Мільйони українців нарешті отримають власні оселі. Ціна на газ, тарифи на тепло та гарячу воду будуть знижені мінімум вдвічі. Відкриє українцям можливість якісно і безоплатно лікуватись.
Recently, she has also started talking about innovations, big data and blockchain. Her 2019 election program is called The New Course for Ukraine. But as Tymoshenko tries to reinvent herself as a modern politician, she still sticks to her old good populism. Promising, for example, to cut the rate charged for gas supplies to the public in half. She also combines a love to luxury brands with promises to defend the poorest. Tymoshenko runs for president for a third time, and this time she stands a real chance at winning. So, who is Yulia Tymoshenko? Tymoshenko earned her fortune in the 1990s. She and her husband started by running a video rental service in the city of Dnipropetrovsk, now Dnipro. But soon they switched into selling oil and gas. In mid-1990s, the company United Energy Systems of Ukraine, which Tymoshenko managed and co-owned, became the main importer of Russian gas to Ukraine. The media started calling her a gas princess. But this success was largely ensured by a notoriously corrupt prime minister, another Dnipro native, Pavlo Lazarenko, who later spent 8 years in a US prison for money laundering. Under his rule, Tymoshenko's company received government quotas for gas supplies. It paid Lazarenko generous kickbacks for that. During their investigation of Lazarenko, the US prosecutors published documents revealing Tymoshenko in 1996-1997 transferred more than 101 million to Lazarenko's accounts. In 1996, Tymoshenko was elected to parliament. She first joined the supporters of then-President Leonid Kuchma, but then switched to the opposition and joined Lazarenko's Hromada party. When Lazarenko fled Ukraine in 1999, Tymoshenko founded her own party, Batkivshchina. In 2001, Tymoshenko, who led the campaign to impeach President Leonid Kuchma, was arrested for forging customs documents and smuggling gas when she was a gas company CEO. It provoked protests in Kiev. In a month, Tymoshenko was released and the charges against her were dropped. Tymoshenko's political career peaked in 2004 when she became one of the faces of the Orange Revolution, a people's uprising sparked by a rigged presidential election. There were 2 candidates, pro-Russian Viktor Yanukovych and pro-Western Viktor Yushchenko. Yanukovych won the election, but with numerous violations. Protesters demanded a revolt, and they got it. Yushchenko won the election and appointed Tymoshenko as prime minister. However, she held this position only for 1 year, gradually turning from Yushchenko's ally into his main opponent. At the same time, she started to become a rival of Petro Poroshenko, who also used to be in Yushchenko's team. Tymoshenko's next stint as prime minister was in 2007-2010. During this term, she signed a gas deal with Russia that later became the formal reason for her second spell in prison. Amid the gas dispute in winter 2008-2009, Russia cut off gas supplies to Ukraine and Europe. After the hours of negotiations with then Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin, Tymoshenko brokered a gas deal and supplies were resumed. Over the next 10 years, Ukraine lost more than $32.1 billion from the deal, Andrei Kobolev, the head of state-owned company Naftogaz Ukraine, now estimates. In 2009, Tymoshenko tried to make a secret deal with opposition leader Yanukovych, who had lost to Yushchenko in 2004. They wanted to divide power between them until 2029, with Tymoshenko being the prime minister and Yanukovych the president. It didn't work. Yanukovych said no at the last moment. Tymoshenko was shocked.
Господи, допоможи. Пропало все. Всі 4 політичні сили – партія регіонів, блок Володимира Литвина, БЮТ, більша частина нашої України та народної самооборони погодилися, що заради людей, заради країни треба об'єднатися, саме всі разом, а не, як каже чорна пропаганда, поділити країну на двох.
In 2010, Yanukovych defeated Tymoshenko in presidential race. In 2011, prosecutors charged her with embezzlement and signing a gas deal that was unfavorable to Ukraine. Tymoshenko was sentenced to 7 years in prison. She spent 3 years behind bars, mostly in a prison hospital. The West called her case politically motivated. She was released after Yanukovych fled to Russia in 2014 in the wake of the Euromaidan revolution. After being freed, Tymoshenko again ran for president, but lost to current president Petro Poroshenko. But when Poroshenko started to lose popularity over rises of utility tariffs, Tymoshenko's rating grew thanks to her criticizing the tariffs.
Просто шокові платіжки, шокові.
Тарифи абсолютно незаконні. Тарифи можуть бути мінімум в 2 рази меншими.
Now they are both leading in the polls, along with comedian Volodymyr Zelensky.